How y'all doing today? My first video today is going to be at the Olive Garden, Evansville, Indiana. And this is 2020 in the past week. Not 1920, not 1820, not 1720. But 2020, 21st century conversation. And I quote, one of the guests reportedly told the whole staff, when you go to Olive Garden, says, I quote, customer request refused service from a colored server. And then the manager agreed. Guess what happened after? The two black folks filed racial complaints. The company getting sued. The manager got fired. The customers were very Jim Crowish in their whole beliefs. Who in 2020 walks around and says colored? I don't want a colored server. And when you hear this story, you have to think, what year and what rock have they been under? They're not even going to say black. They're not going to say Negro. They're not going to say African American, African descent. They said colored. I'm thinking, what hillbilly, racist hack, Jim Crow, redneck, who was this? So yes, the beloved Olive Garden had this happen to them. And of course they fired the manager and everything. Now the manager agreed. A manager who was white would agree with a customer who says the word colored in 2020. Let that sink in. These stories happen a lot more than people like to imagine. And in part, it does have to do with people who are behind an idiot, racist bigot like Trump and other right-wing and alternative right agendas and mindsets, because the racist agenda is being pushed down your throat. There is no balance and there's no voice of reasoning. So when you hear this kind of story, of course you got to shake your head. Good news is that two black folks who are employees over there are suing. They will be compensated. The manager got fired. And hopefully that guest will be told to refrain from that choice of words to eat at their establishment or be denied service, which they should be. Could you imagine that? Well, how would you imagine that? Someone says, well, we only want a colored service. One says, well, we can't serve Anglo-Saxon people who use racist, offensive comments. Would you kindly leave the premise? Wouldn't that be nice? Because I tell you, that's what they deserve to be told. That's my thoughts and takes about this Olive Garden in Indiana, with a customer saying they want colored service and the manager agreed, and everything that ensued. But give me your thoughts and your takes. Hit that like, hit that subscribe when the bell rings. There's a new video. We are in 2020, and sometimes it feels like 1920. I'm out.